What's up, everybody? I'm the Mana Dork. I don't have a catchphrase, but what I do have is another standard 8 rare deck for you. Today we're playing Insidious Roots because Aether Drift gave us a couple new toys to interact with that card. First off is the Molt Tender. Green for a 1/1 insect druid. You can tap it to mill a card, or tap it to exile a card from our graveyard to get 1 mana of any color. Perfect fit. Puts stuff in the graveyard, takes stuff out of the graveyard, gives us a mana dork. Hey, that's me. Perfect fit for the deck. Also got 2 copies of Dredger's Insight. Enchantment for 1 and a green. Whenever 1 or more creatures or artifacts leaves our graveyard, we gain a life. And when it enters, we get to mill 4 and then put an artifact, creature, or land from among those cards into our hand. So this is going to give us another way to fill the graveyard, another way to get a benefit out of our creatures leaving the graveyard, as well as replacing itself with a little bit of selection built in. The last in the new cards, we've got 2 copies of Quag Feast, 1 in a black for a sorcery. Choose target creature, planeswalker, or vehicle. We mill 2 cards and then destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in our graveyard. And since we're going to be filling the graveyard, this card also fills a little bit itself. It should be able to handle whatever permanent is standing in our way. Rest of the deck is a bunch of the usual suspects. 4 Faerie Dreamthief, 4 Rubblebelt Maverick. Both of them give us a little surveil, so we fill the graveyard, control our draws, and then exile themselves from our graveyard once they've left the field. 4 Snarling Gorehound for a little more surveil. 2 Ashnod's Harvester, creature that can come back from the graveyard on its own, as well as exile other things from the graveyard. 4 Cash Grab. Self-explanatory, I think. 2 Keen-Eyed Curator. It's going to help us exile stuff from our graveyard, as well as give us a way to interact with the opponent's graveyard. 4 of our namesake, Insidious Roots. 4 Tyvar to give us haste on all of our mana-producing guys off the roots, as well as another way to filter stuff into the graveyard. Lastly, we've got 2 copies of Coati Scavenger to help us get back things from the graveyard once we've milled them, if we need them back or if they've been blown up by the opponent. Basically, he grabs roots when we need it. We got 10 swamps, 12 forest to fuel it all, and that's the deck. Alright, I'm going to go find an opponent. That'll give you a chance to find the like and subscribe, and I'll see you over there. We'll try this. Big bucks, no whammies. Those can go in the bin. Make the tender. You got blue. You're an islands person. Blue and white. With the collector's vault. Start doing those roots things. Get back the other roots. And for 1. Send to those guys. What do you got for us? Because if you don't, I might be about to go ham. And I don't even know what that means. Alright. Let's mill a card. Make a scavenger. Get back a harvester. Send to those two. As long as they don't have a board wipe this turn, we pretty much have this. And if they do, we've got enough to start rebuilding. Mill. Scavenger says, let's get back a different scavenger. Get a couple roots triggers. And we'll leave it right there. They've got another board wipe. We're not committing too much. If they don't, between the scavenger and the Maverick, we should be able to finish them off next turn. There goes the split up. So then let's just loop these scavengers for a minute. Unless they got the 3 steps. Gain back a little life, but we will be okay, I think. Unless they've got a 3rd board wipe. Get rid of a tender. Gain back the extra damage we got that turn, but we've got him on the ropes again. So unless this is a board wipe, which it is, Leave that where it is. So that might be our ticket out. One, two, three guys in the bin. So it's going to be able to let us do 6 triggers during the end step. 6 roots triggers. And when I say the end step, I mean their end step. Double authority. At least it's not a board wipe. Valiantly get in for 1. Curator. Let's see what they got. They're drawing extra cards, trying to get to something that looks like. Yep, they're scurrying through. See what they can find. Hopefully nothing. Looks like nothing, so let's go to town. Our graveyard. Remove a dude. We're going to gain a couple life, but we will more than make this up. Life gain on consoles is annoying, but not as annoying as having to go through all the triggers. Their collector's vault, so we can start getting our 4 different types. Oh, that's a Tyvar. That could do some things. I mean, I think we've got enough as it is, but counter that. And they pick it up. This looks good. Well, they're on a similar deck, it looks. Looks like, however you want to say it. No attacks. Alright. So they're probably doing the raise the pass thing. Gorehound number 2. We'll hold off on that. Let them make their decision before we show them what goes in the graveyard. Remove him, get a green, make 2 friends. Grab back a Maverick, make 2 more friends, pass it back. Ellis, sure thing. Tyvar mill.
Today we carve our deeds into history. Your story's not finished yet.
Get back to Molt Tender. Get a couple dudes. Let's mill another card. No? Alright. Send all of those things. Get in for a decent chunk. Let's make this one bigger. More triggers. And cast that thing. We can cast that thing. Pass it back. Enduring Innocence. No 4th land, no board wipe. On the play, no 1-drop, but turn 2 Roots, turn 3 Tyvar. I think we can run with that. And extra Roots even. I got a Vault. The question becomes, do we try to be setting up a double Roots, or I think we go directly for the Tyvar.
I have arrived. It's not a victory without you.
Get that swamp out of here to make a green mana. That's a cash grab. Grab this back. What is this thing? Draw a card. And mounts and vehicles become mounted and vehicled. Mill a card. We got any dudes down here? No dudes. Let's try again. It's not a dude. But Scavenger. We'll get a backup Tyvar. Pass it back. We got a monument. And they're cycling to draw an extra card. That's the thing they can do. Put both of those in the bin. Do the Tyvar trick.
I won't let you fall.
Back a Rubblebelt. 2 Roots triggers, 2 lands in the bin. Tyvar a second time.
They'll talk about this fight for centuries. Share in my glory.
Get you back. Send all of those. Sunfall is not good for us. They get a great big guy.
We can do this all day.
And the turn. How many guys, if any, do we have down here? We got 1. The Brotherhood's End. They're no fun. I guess we take 10. Another monument. Send 2 things his way. I don't think we have anything we want to grab out of our graveyard. So we're going to remove the vehicle, just in case they have some sort of reanimation. Two monuments triggers. Torch the tower on our guy. Play the other tender. Forge. Block here. And that's going to be 2 3-life triggers. And that'll be their game. I don't even know why they bothered to attack at that point, but they got us. No black mana, but I'm hoping the Maverick will get us there. Let's take a peek. No such luck. That's okay. We eliminated 2 not swamp cards from the top of our deck. And there's us a swamp. Roots resolves. I'm wondering what made them pause there. Deduce, okay. As long as it's not a get lost, I'll be happy. Although temporary lockdown would be pretty disappointing as well. Seal from existence is not great.
Rest. Good. Never give up. We can win.
You? Swamp out of here. Make a Gorehound. Send it back. Ossifications. Sure thing. See if we can get back our roots. Get a black out of you. Come over for a couple. Is it board wipe time? They got all the existences. We got all the creatures, and we'll see if they can get us there. That was not particularly productive. Set up the top of our library. Or clear those things off, whichever way you want to look at it. Keep you. Pass it back. See what they come up with. Is it sunfall time? That's not as bad as it could have been. Commander says, let's get back another Scavenger. Three blind mice. Not what I was expecting to see, but draw a card. That's a card. Roots number 3. And a counter spell. Let's come over. Drop our land. Pass it back. Mouse number 2. Ossify our dude. The highest of noons. Get back our roots. Draw a card. Pass it back. And you get more mice. So they set that to blue, not to red. So they're not giving any thought to using the high noon, I'm guessing. Come over with this guy. See what kind of blocking they do. Fair enough. Take that too. Another one. So many mice. And the turn. See if they've got a board wipe here. Or what kind of nonsense. No nonsense. All right. Let's start eating this graveyard. Go away. Trigger, trigger. last one. You. And we send everything. See what sort of response they might have. Surprise, settle the wreckage. No. Block there, block there, block there. Block there. Alright. So let's eat a sorcery. Eat an enchantment. Instant. All the major food groups. So he's now a 7/7 trample. That will wrap this one up. And that's the deck. Reasonably happy with it. We wound up with an 8-6 record. So not the best showing, but I think it was a lot of it had to do with what decks we got paired up with. We didn't face a lot of creature-based mid-range to aggro type decks. We mostly saw more controlling builds, which I don't know if that's where the metagame is heading or if we just happened into those particular matches. But I'm happy with how it played. It was very fun to play. Especially the Molt Tender with Tyvar being able to activate it multiple times a turn. Quag Feast didn't come up too much, so I don't know how much of a grade to give this one yet. Dredger's Insight did exactly what we needed it to. It seems like a very worthwhile addition to the deck. So overall, I'm happy with this. If you're still here, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out and watch me play some games. Feel free to leave a comment if you like what you saw or if there's anything you'd like to see me do differently. Don't forget to like the subscribe and button the smash or whatever it is you do to show that you appreciate the video. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.